Okay, what's happening, everyone? Update here on the mixed-use real estate model. All the logic is still intact from the original template. The only thing I've changed is on the development costs, or this could be development, acquisition, construction, whatever. This is where you define all the costs to build or acquire, or anything with the initial transaction of getting the mixed real estate property. You can put all those costs in here, and we've got up to 7 sections that you can put that in. And the way it worked before was any negative cash flows would be financed with a construction loan, and you draw on that over time. And there's interest; it can accrue or not. There's an interest rate, an interest-only period, and then at the end of this period, it rolled into a regular P&I loan. So the problem was the draw was on negative cash flows of the whole operation. And it's a little bit convoluted to work in some cases. It worked in most cases, but now it's very flexible. For example, what if one of your costs was land and none of that was subject to being able to be financed? Well, there's no way to use the logic to get that out of the debt financing for the draw because it'd come in as a negative cash flow and go into the draw period or the draw schedule. Well, now you can actually define every single line item on here in all 7 sections if you want it to go be subject to financing or not, and if so, the percentage, which is basically going to be your LTV or how much you're borrowing of the cost, the total cost, and you can put that in for each individual one. And that flows down into here, and then that drives what's actually drawn on. So for example, let's say you have, let's go to an emptier one. Let's say this is land cost here, land purchase of $10 million, right? Okay, so normally if we put no here, this 10 million does not hit the debt schedule at all. It will hit the monthly cash flow and come out as equity and go to the waterfall contribution distribution schedule. But you can see it hits right here, the full 10 million, and it will also hit the equity waterfall and be subject to the LP hurdle rates over time. And you still get past the hurdle in the refi in this case. Now, what if you wanted to finance some of that? Well, you can put yes here, and at 50%, you can see now we've got that 5 million coming out in month 1 of the draw. So that's the update. It's basically just adding the columns A and B here and having that flow through the model. It's cleaner. It gives more flexibility to the mixed use model. Everything else works the same here. It's all really good. I like how everything else works in the template already. And remember, if you're doing all the costs rate in a given month and there's no draw period, there's no interest only period, you can just zero this out. You would pick you would enter 1 here, and then this would just be the month of draw, whatever that is. Like if it's month 3, that's fine. Now these draws will be here. There's no interest, and then whenever the interest only period ends, that's when the P&I loan starts. So now there's numbers coming in here because there's numbers here, but you would put this into whatever makes sense for your scenario, and then the resulting draws per month would come in accordingly here. So you don't have to have an interest-only period if you're going to do it all in 1 month, and then it flows straight to a P&I loan. But if you do have a construction loan, you can enter, let's say maybe it's 15 months, starts in month 1. So that shows you how long it's going to go until there's a P&I, and then there's also option for refi. So the debt logic here is really, really good. This is one of the best parts of the whole model, and it's one of the hardest things to model. Let's put this back up here. And you can accrue the interest, or if not, payments will happen at each period. Otherwise, it rolls into the P&I loan at the end of the period. And then also, I just updated some general formatting on the numbers, so zeros are dashes instead of zeros. I think that's all I really changed. There's no other updates that were required, just the flow to draw. It's just more, it's more sound, I believe, and easier to use now. The template's easier to use, and that's what I always strive to be able to provide. Now, if you don't want to use any debt, you can always hit no here. and then nothing will flow to the debt schedule. It all flows to the equity, and all the costs will then flow here. And again, it's subject to the hurdles. And you can see at the bottom here, the distribution contribution schedule for the LP and GP, and the resulting exit IRR, as well as net present value discounted cash flow analysis is pulling from this monthly waterfall. Okay, that's it. You can get the template at smarthelping.com. It will be in the real estate section. At the top of, it'll be tabbed to the top. Look for the real estate section. It'll be in there in alphabetical order. Look for the M's. And the bundle for all the real estate models is $310. The template, this one, it's on its own is only $75. If you want that, go for it. And I'll see you guys on the next one.